Hello everyone, my name is Leslie Elizabeth Paul. In this video, I'm going to talk about a state diagram for an inventory management system. A state diagram usually describes as different states that an object can go throughout its lifetime. So it shows how object changes a state from one state to another state whenever an event is triggered. The state diagram describes the flow of control from one state to another state. States are defined as a condition in which an object exists and it changes when some event is triggered. Okay, so when drawing the state diagram, one must clarify the following point, and those are: identify important objects to be analyzed, identify the states, and identify the events that will trigger the states. Okay, the components of a state diagram are: first of all, state. State notation marks a node of the entity and is indicated using a rectangle with rounded corners and the state name written inside. Second one is transition. Transition marks the changing of one object state to the another one whenever event has been caused, and it is mainly showed by an arrow mark. Third one is initial state. Initial state is the state of an object before any transition. So that's where all the state actually starts. The final one is the final state. It marks the end or the destruction of the object whose state we are modeling. So these are the different components of a state diagram. Now let's get into the state diagram. So this is my state diagram for the inventory management system. So here you can see the very first thing is the initial state. So it is depicted using a dot, and you can see it goes to a state called inactive. So the very beginning the model is an inactive state. That means the user has not logged in. So as soon as a login, or even there is a login occurs, it goes into the active state. Now it happens only if after it will become active only if the login is invalid. So if the login is invalid, it will go back to inactive state, and if the login is active, then it will go to the upcoming states. Now this is a synchronization bar. The synchronization bar actually says which is used to synchronize different states altogether, which can occur simultaneously. So here there are three states which are possible according to the condition. The very first one is the idle state, where the system does nothing but is actually waiting for the customer to give an input. The second state is where the user can check for the availability, that is stock availability. And third one is the user can add up the incoming stock. So there are three possibilities. So going to the first one. So I start with the second one. So suppose if the user wanted to check stock availability, it will go to the it will call this state, and it will be checking the quantity of the stock. Now if the quantity of the stock is less than the minimum requirement, that is, if it is not available, it will contact the supplier, that is the next state. Now once a supplier has been contacted and the necessary arrangement has been done, it will go back to the idle state. Now, if suppose an incoming stock is that is, if a supplier has already delivered an item, then we have to add that item into your inventory. So if we were to do that, it will add the incoming stock into the inventory manager, and then go back to the idle state, waiting for the customer or the user to give any input. Okay, now suppose if a customer gives an input, you can see over here the transaction, the event is the customer input. So as soon as this event occurs, it will check if the ordered item, that the customer, whatever item the customer has been ordered, it's available or not. If the particular item is available, it will go to the next event, that is a payment, where the customer will be asked to give a payment. And then you can see over here, if the item is not available, it will display an error message. So that's why I given another state, that is a display error. And then if the payment is made, it will go to the generate bill. And what if the payment is not made? Then it will go again to the display error, where an error message will be displayed. And finally, if the payment is made, then this event will cause another state, that is generate bill. And finally, after generating the bill, the whole model will stop by logging out. So these are the different states that an inventory management system can be in its particular lifetime. That's all with the video. Thank you so much for watching.